Hey, welcome to the First Issue Club podcast. We read first issues each and every week, and we review them. But this week, we're doing it a little bit different. We're going to throw some best ofs at you, and that's what this whole episode is. It's the year-end rundown of the best comic books that we read, and some other categories as well. We have Mike D, we have Caitlin, we have Greg, and we have me, Budget King. Anything you guys want to add into this intro of the list?
Is it worth noting that, these are books that we've covered? We're doing, a best of, worst of books that we've covered. There were so many that,
Yes.
for the sake of podcasting quality, we couldn't really get to.
Except that I might break the rules a handful of times
Totally
to truly
okay.
answer.
I break
some
the rules maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
Oh, totally okay.
I think, which is good on us because it shows that we truly did cover a lot of the best comic books that came out this year. I think there was a couple ones that, in our hurry to cover only 2 books each week, we missed. We threw some of them on our Patreon, so some of those might emerge.
I think we should just get into it.
Yeah, let's do it. And the first category is best event.
I will go first.
Okay.
Well, it actually should be no surprise. War of the Realms.
Okay. Yep.
I was so hyped on that book the entire year. I remember talking about it 2 or 3 months before it even came out, and I would not shut up about it. And it came through so fucking well. Jason Aaron wrote the whole goddamn thing. It was brilliant, drawn beautifully. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Can I ask you about the tie-ins? How did you feel about those?
I liked them. I thought they were great.
Yeah.
There was a fuck ton of them.
There were so many.
But, I mean, you had amazing artists and writers tied into that. I mean, I think you had Kelly Thompson, Leah Williams, Jerry Duggan.
I only ask because normally with these events, the tie-ins are garbage. Complete and utter garbage that you regret
Garbage.
purchasing completely.
Was Carnage with the tie-ins garbage?
No, they were pretty cool. Not as good as War of the Realms, but I'm biased.
K-Dog. Best event?
I don't even know if this was an event, but House of X.
Yes.
Powers.
You
Yeah.
killed it.
Okay. It
No.
was real good.
It is mine as well.
Hey.
I thought, hands down, we were all going to pick Powers and House of X.
I picked
It
it,
was so well.
Did you?
and then I veered a little bit.
Oh.
And I realized that I really enjoyed, and I didn't expect this, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Road to 100. And I don't know if that's an event, but I started reading it when they added the 5th turtle, the female turtle. And then I kept reading, they were all $7.99 books. They had what do we call those, thick boys?
Yes.
And that series is awesome. And it was really fun.
Here's my qualifiers for what makes it an event. Does it either transcend across multiple comic books, meaning I've got more than one line or title
Okay.
that is making up this story? That's one option. And then the second option is several different comic books or storylines are converging into a singular storyline.
Okay. So
Yes,
then it
correct.
doesn't. I was thinking because they
This
spun.
was more just like a story arc.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I was thinking because they spun it out.
Disqualified.
So then I'll just go with Powers of X.
I had noted that for me, Powers and House of X beats Watchmen, which I'm considering an event because it ties in a bunch of other DC characters.
But it also started before 2019, so
The majority of it was in 2019.
correct.
War of the Realms, Year of the Villain, Carnage,
Oh, no one
and
picked Year of
Deceased.
the Villain?
Yeah,
Yes,
surprise.
there- Yeah.
No one picked Year of the
I
Villain.
almost said that just to throw you guys off for a second.
Year of the Villain.
It was so
Ooh.
good.
And the next category is worst ending.
Which comic book had the shittiest letdown ending?
In
I
some
got
ways,
one.
I viewed this as also the worst comic book. Should I have done that?
Well, some cliffhangers are really bad.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's good.
You're really liking it, and then the last couple pages, you're
Makes
like,
it just
okay.
so corny.
Okay.
Yes.
So worst ending. That's good. Okay. Yeah. What did you have then?
Berserker Unbound.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff Lemire.
Yep.
It might be self-explanatory, but just the reveal of that he's walking into a city, and then you're just like, oh, okay, this is going to be some mix between Encino Man and some other stuff I've already seen.
And
a bunch
Conan
of
the
times.
Barbarian,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Who else comes up for worst ending?
Mine would be Age of X-Man, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the event that happened right before House of X and Powers of X. And not only was the ending terrible, but the whole goddamn thing was bad.
And it just didn't matter.
And I think they knew that.
That was really frustrating to go through this huge event, and I probably spent $300 on all the comics and side stories.
Yeah, because we thought it was going to be huge.
Yeah, zero repercussions because we immediately started this whole new phase of X-Men.
It just didn't. Yeah, like there's like going to be nothing in there.
Right.
Is there any first appearances? Is there anything like
No.
anything key?
Was any part of that where they had the hybrid child?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
That's when they did like Extremists and
Yes.
They had some interesting things that they,
really
could have done
did.
with it.
Yeah,
And not only so it wasn't bad, it was just boring. And that's probably the biggest insult for a comic book.
I had as no surprise to anybody, Collapser.
Oh God.
Yeah, you hated that book.
You did not like that book.
I almost bought you a signed copy. I just saw it and I was like, this would be so funny to get him. But
You found a signed copy of
Yeah.
it? Yeah. I would love to not have that.
I have a little bit of a cheeky pick. My worst ending is Astro Hustle. It ended with the creator being in a sexual assault accusation and the publisher canceling the book after an issue.
Yeah.
So I can't think of a worse ending than that.
The only travesty to come out of that is the artist that was working on it
Yeah.
was really, really good. And
He was good.
He got the cold shaft
Yeah.
of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
The art was really fun in that
Yeah.
book.
So fuck you, Janets.
Fuck yourself, Jay.
Go fuck yourself, Giants.
Right in your gina. Your ginitza.
Your Giantitza.
That was cool, right? What I did there?
Yep. Now we have best team up / ensemble.
I had Savage Avengers.
Oh, me too.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was such a cool concept and such a good delivery.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Duggan was on that, right? Jerry Duggan?
Is that who wrote it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy shit, that book was so cool.
It's funny because we made fun of that combo. Like,
Yes!
They were like the Walmart Superstore Avengers team.
Yes. But
They
it turned out to be fucking rad.
So you guys kept reading it. Mm-hmm. There ended up being like a key issue,
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 in, right?
I think it's something to do with Conan doing something that was interesting. Like,
Yeah, like Conan had the Black Sword from War of the Realms, and then
Conan comes into like real time. That was the big thing, is that like he transferred into like non-historic time and like was on the real. He's essentially was the first time he was on the Marvel timeline, I think is why.
yeah, they made a big deal about it. So
And then there was another Conan character that entered.
the Serpent King or whatever, or something like that.
Yeah.
Sounds like the time to sell that book was a few months ago.
Yes, it totally was. It was the same week.
Yeah.
That-
It's not the same day.
Yep, the same thing with your Miles Morales, whatever it was, where he has a baby sister.
Baby sister.
Oh, yeah.
Sell that now.
Yeah.
Or by the time this comes out, it will have been too late. Actually.
Yeah, right, totally.
Burn them.
I had a weird pick for this one. My best team was Silver Surfer and Ego the Planet from Silver Surfer Black. I thought it was really fun throwing those characters together in the way that Donny Cates did.
Yeah.
And just seeing them interact and cooperate was just really cool.
I agree. Totally.
That's a good team. Yeah, I wanted to go that route, but just Savage Avengers was too easy of a pick.
It was a slam dunk for me on that. Yeah.
Mine was kind of the same because I picked Giant Man, just all the size changing dudes
Oh,
in
yeah.
one.
Oh man,
But-
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, when I
It
saw
was
that
a
on
fun
the,
team
when I
up.
saw that on the list that you created us, I was like, oh my god, that book was so good.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. The only thing we should have on it is that it should have been called Giant Men.
Yes.
It was so annoying
Yeah.
that it was called Giant Man.
Yeah. And now we have our funniest book.
This was a no-brainer for me. Not only was it the funniest book I read in 2019, it was also the biggest surprise for me, or one of the biggest surprises for me in 2019. Jimmy Olsen.
That was mine too.
Superman's best friend, Jimmy Olsen.
That book came out of left field for me, and I thought it was going to be just the biggest throwaway. Like, what a stupid concept. It was so goddamn funny.
The format is even like
Yes.
hilarious.
Yes.
God, yeah.
Just
Even the quotes that I still remember, some of the lines, like just going around breaking his ass, like it's just so funny.
Yeah.
You guys all picked the same book.
I picked it.
Well, it barely squeaked deceased for me.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's so good. I had a handful of other ones that I was gonna throw in Gut Ghost or Second Coming.
Yeah.
But I ended up going with Kelly Thompson's Deadpool because I was really surprised with just how fun it was and funny.
It's weird to say a refreshing take on
I-
Deadpool, but it
It
kind
is,
of was.
yeah.
I think Deadpool is so unconsciously broed out. I don't think like people realize how like male centrically weird.
He turned into the White Claw of
Oh,
Yeah.
Marvel
He
U.
totally is. That's exactly what he is. He's the White Claw of Marvel U. So picking Kelly Thompson to write it and then Kelly Thompson knocking it out of the park, I definitely want to shout it out as like a funny book.
Totally.
I want to say I'm loving this episode so far. It feels like going back in like a comic book bin and looking at your comic books and being like, I like this.
Yeah.
So
This is our clip show.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I fucking love a good clip show.
Drum roll for
Drum roll sound.
the sexiest book of 2019.
If we all don't pick the same book, I'll be shocked.
Oh, I had a few.
I
As
thought
it-
there were a couple
Really?
contenders too.
I zigged.
Yeah.
I think the obvious is going to be Faithless, right?
That's what I picked.
Faithless. Yes. That's what
I
I
did
picked.
not pick that.
Here's why I picked Faithless.
Gave you a boner.
1, yes. 2, the variant cover
Oh, yeah.
for the first issue
Yeah.
had a literal fucking butthole
Wait, I mean, you know,
on
they,
the like.
the way that you,
you know they
said that,
continue. Like I have all of them.
So do
and
I.
They go fucking nuts.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I had, to this day, I had never seen anything more
Yeah.
shocking than you could draw the bloodiest goddamn thing on a cover, just a butthole staring back at me. I had never seen that before
Yeah,
on
you're
a
right.
comic book
I'd never seen a
cover
butthole
in my
either. Yeah.
life.
What
They
about
went-
a
they-
bloody
they went-
butthole?
Not yet. But is Faithless over? I don't think so. We may have time to see it.
Now, what I didn't like about Faithless is the comic book itself was never as sexy as the covers were.
Very true. Very true. There was some sexual themes in it, but it
Yep.
dealt with other issues than a Playboy might have you.
There was some supernatural elements and a lot of sexual tension. Ultimately,
It's actually a great comic book.
Yes, it really
yeah,
is.
it was fun.
you picked Faithless too.
I picked Faithless. Yeah.
I picked Money Shot.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody picked Money Shot. I picked Coffin Bound only on my own attraction to the main character.
I almost put that for best lead because of the same thing.
I was like, And also that,
Not my sexiest book, like the sexiest book of the
and
year.
I think I might have been. Danny is the artist. She goes by one name.
Yes.
and you're attracted to her as well.
I liked that. I saw a lot of her other
Yes,
like cover
is the
arts
answer
that
to
she
that
did. Yeah,
question.
she's attractive. I'm gonna say that she's attractive. I'm
got it out of
I'm not doing like weird giant stuff or anything.
Oh, I
Budget
didn't think you were doing that.
Russian.
I just thought you were just dancing around it a little
Yeah,
bit.
she's attractive. But she also kind of blew up a little bit after Coffin Bound. I've seen her on like a ton of other cover variants and things like that.
Really?
She does she does. She does like a really good stylized, like she knows her brand of like sexy women. And she stays in that lane really well, and it's really good.
Cool.
So, and she does a one name Prince style, so it's easy to notice when she's doing a cover.
Is there a sexual act called Prince style? If not, let's make it up.
The
There's
Prince
got, I
style.
mean,
There's a
Yeah.
Prince Albert.
In a can?
Let's go. No, Prince
Well, on
Albert
my
is,
can.
is a sex. Is a sex thing, right? Oh no, Prince,
in my can.
Prince Albert is getting your dick pierced, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next category on the show today is the weirdest premise. We had a lot of contenders, I feel like, for
Oh,
this
yes.
one.
Yeah.
I have
switched
two.
I switched mine a couple times.
I had Unit 44 and everything.
Unit 44.
I just thought it was super weird. Like the whole premise of this is that they forgot to keep up with rent,
Yeah.
and now hijinks happen.
My contenders for this also included everything, and then I was trying to decide between that and Strayed. Do you guys remember Strayed?
Yes, I thought of that one too.
And
Wait,
I-
tell me what Strayed was again.
I
The
wrote
cat.
Yeah, I wrote out
Yeah.
one sentence synopsises for each, and I was like, which one is weirder, like on
Good
paper?
call.
Strayed, an astral projecting cat whose powers are exploited by an evil government, or Everything, a mega department store that causes mania in a small town, people bursting into fire, psychic disturbances, and wet dreams. I think everything wins
Definitely
that
everything.
contest.
Everything
Yeah.
wins.
Oh man.
That book is still really good.
I really want to keep up. I know we
And-
have it. I
Yeah.
just haven't had the chance to sit down.
And I'll say a lot of it, you have this problem with a lot of indie comics, especially that you read. One, just because they're most commonly kind of new, fresh stories, and you don't have the history with a lot of the characters that when they're serialized month to month, it's really hard to follow a narrative or storyline because of that. And everything has been a little tough to follow and kind of falls victim to not being able to read it back to back just because it is so weird. But at the same time, so much of that book is just cool vibe that it almost doesn't even matter.
the design
Yeah.
and the art style and just
It's the paneling is killer and the weird things they do is just so intriguing.
I stand
love
by
it.
that book's covers just doesn't do itself any services though.
Everything?
I love.
I agree.
I love the
I
inside
agree.
of the book, but the covers don't draw you in, and they don't even really tell you anything about how cool the story
Yeah,
is.
the covers are weird and corny, which I think
Corny is right.
which I think sells the concept of like a mega store.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
And it's a cheeky tie into that,
Yeah.
but it's at a disservice of the comic to
Yeah.
go that route.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of Isola, where it's like
Whoa, hold on.
Isola, where it's like the covers are amazing, but the story is just like, well, what's going on, Talking Tiger?
It got to a point where it meandered for me.
what's
It-
going
yeah.
on, Talking Tiger.
So Isola does meander, but fuck, it is so good to look at.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly, but that
it looks like a goddamn Disney film.
yeah,
I mean, it being Isola being beautiful doesn't stop at the covers.
Right.
The entire
that's a
interior
good point.
is like
Yeah, there we go.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
It's so crazy. I love flipping through those books. Mine was Coffin Bound.
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. You get scenes of strippers peeling their skin off.
Oh,
But it was like
yeah.
You
Tank
get-
Girl for me. Like
get-
where like
No, I know, but it's still a weird concept.
Yeah,
You have someone
yeah.
called Earth Eater. You have a bird skeleton as a best friend. Like, it's a strange concept for a comic book. It's a great comic book, but it's fucking weird.
I went with White Trees.
Yeah, okay.
The Chip Zdarsky book. I think it was weird in a very much I love this weirdness way. Two dads are like going to rescue their
Three dads.
three dads. Yeah, all go to rescue their children. And I think one of the weirdest things about it is it's just 2 issues.
that's what I was gonna
And
say.
it wasn't a trade. It's not big enough to be a trade. It just is a very, and it's like, it ends up being like kind of a warrior story, and then it's like super heartfelt just about a dad. And I think from the very beginning, you don't really realize it, you know, like it, I don't
it's
know.
like Full House. Like
And then
True,
it's
it
just
like-
really is.
you
Yeah.
hear that music and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you got me.
The
Right.
ending of that book was brutal.
it was heartbreaking.
It was brutal.
Yeah. And it was a great book, but definitely like, I just was like, it's a true Chip Zdarsky book.
Yeah. The way they handled sexuality in that book was brilliant.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It was just the most effortless and flawless way of just saying, hey, man, it's all good.
It's certainly not a time capsule of how people think about sexuality now. It's like in the future.
Correct. Yeah.
It was great. Next up, guiltiest pleasure.
I think you all know what mine is.
Oh boy. No,
It
I
is the thing that I
Yeah.
never thought I would ever say in my whole life. Deceased.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember you trying to talk us like
Despite the
explain
first
to us that it
issue,
was cool.
despite the first issue, it did not do itself any favors with the first issue. This book fucking slapped. It got so crazy as it went on. And it's if you think of it as like this Elseworld, like no consequences, insanity, it's so much fun. It's like a Fast and Furious movie. Like, I don't give a fuck if Vin Diesel can't act. He is driving the hell out of that Charger, and it looks great. So that's mine.
That's all. And people loved it in the end.
Yeah, and it's getting like a volume 2 of like,
And the covers were crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
They did a cool thing where they like tied in old horror flicks.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to summarize the key concept of it in a sentence? I'm kind of losing like what it was that made them like zombie sort of people.
It was like social
It was,
media.
it was the antimatter equation being put into just the internet, and then once you saw this thing, bloop, bloop, you're like nabbed.
It was mimetic.
Yeah.
It's totally mimetic.
Correct.
Did we have that take?
We
On the
all did.
episode?
We all
Okay.
did. And we all thought it was going to be this commentary on social media.
Uh-huh.
It was not. Yeah.
You don't always need a good reason for characters to turn into zombies.
No, and just rip each other apart.
Yeah.
That book was bloody. Super bloody.
You're selling me on it.
I'm still going to skip it.
That's okay. We're still friends.
Okay, I had a little bit of a hard time with Guilty as Pleasure. On one end, I thought, what's the book I'm most embarrassed to buy at the comic book shop counter? And I put Money Shot. I've bought 3 issues of it now, and they're all like horny over the top covers. And I just feel like weird being like, I couldn't wait for this. I have to buy it the day it comes out, like right at 10 a.m.
I was telling you, I own literally every cover
Yeah.
made of that book.
And then I thought of a second one. Didn't want to tell you guys that I loved this book because I felt like no one else really liked it. Bad Luck Chuck.
No, I
And
I remember liking
I
that
bought-
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you and me just liked it. And I bought every issue of that.
Did you?
I enjoyed it.
I just thought it was like ho-hum.
I have a similar. Only you and I liked it too, and I really.
Oh, if you say Mary Shelley
I'm gonna
Frankenstein-
say it. I'm gonna say it. I have another one that I almost put in this category, but then I moved it to another category, which is why this one ended up being the pick.
Okay.
It was really. I stand by
I
Mary
stand
Shelley
by it,
Frankenstein still.
I saw it on the list and I was just like, fuck.
But
that
I couldn't
book.
even. I could not go through this list and think of another book that I actually felt like I would be embarrassed
Yeah.
to go buy.
Yeah.
So the book I had, you guys probably won't even remember we covered. It's Ignited.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. From H3?
Humanoid
Humanoid, yeah.
is the name of the publisher. Mark Waid and Osa Gieffo, the
Oh,
guy that
Mark
did,
Wade book.
and the guy from Black F co-wrote it. It was a school shooting with X-Men, essentially.
Yes.
And it just was like cornball, but I loved it. I had to order all of them from Humanoids directly because they're so fucking backwards of a place.
Was that the one with the cover where like they were all facing a certain way?
They're all looking at you.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
The each issue is pretty thick and it's a good story. And Mark Waid has been pretty quiet as of late, but he killed it with this Humanoid thing.
Did you read the other line of books off of Humanoid?
I should have.
I think there's only been another one. 2 issues have come out from it. And I picked it up randomly because I was like, well, I kind of want to support this publisher because it's tough to do that
Yeah, Ignited is in trade form if anybody's interested.
if you're into that kind of
If you're
thing.
into school shootings.
I don't remember reading this.
Really? I made a joke about how they opened the school back up because they cleaned everything up and there's still bullet holes and everything.
Yeah, definitely a guilty pleasure.
And kids were making like
I've bought the first issue like
it
twice.
reminded me a lot of Misfits. I think I might have mentioned that,
oh yeah,
which I really liked.
And for the next category, we have Best Lead in a Comic Book.
I'm excited to hear what everyone thought of this one. There were so many good options.
I feel like I
yeah.
picked I feel like I picked the most obvious one.
Oh well, then I want to hear yours.
Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I picked Basket Full of Heads. By issue 2, the lead is this female that, because the way the story is written, you
You would
get
never expect her to be the lead.
and you get her full backstory in issue 1, and then she's the Basket Full of Heads person with a fucking axe, like carrying around heads, being a badass, and such a developed character, such a cool concept for a character. Like, I've almost not read a better character.
Really? I that would not have been obvious to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine was the cat from Strayed that talked and helped her little owner. It was a vital part of the story. I thought he was super, super cute.
I think the ones that I picked maybe weren't best for character development, just for like lead premise, maybe. If that makes sense for context. I picked Crone and then the little boy from Folklords.
Oh,
He just
those
wants
are
to
good.
be a businessman.
Those are two really good picks.
Yeah. Crone was super. That's a great pick. She was awesome.
Yeah.
I have Moira from Powers of X,
Mm-hmm.
specifically Powers of X 2, but most of that series as well.
Which timeline?
That book shook me as a superhero fan. It felt so big and important, and she was a character that I really cared nothing about. And you just learn this new respect for her as just like a strong-willed person who's just lived through god awful shit and comes out the other end the most important cog in this crazy X-Men story.
Jonathan Hickman did, I'm going to say, the impossible of just creating not only a new and exciting X-Men story,
Yeah.
which, I mean, fucking X-Men have pretty much done it all.
Yep.
Literally, time travel, into space, underwater, like fucking think of anything, they've done it. So to have people read this and be surprised every week
Yep.
was a fucking feat. And he should be applauded for that.
And I applaud Marvel too for just being like,
We're going to trust you.
yeah, you do it.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
We did
It's
just complain about that
Yep.
being thrown out the window. At the same time, I wouldn't
Yeah.
go back and say, make me wait longer for Powers and House of
I
X.
remember looking at the previews when X-Man was still going on
Yeah.
and just being like, so is any of this going to matter?
I'll get this in the dollar bins someday.
We're still waiting for Moira to pop back up.
Shook it.
How are
It's
you
gonna
guys
be
feeling?
epic.
How are you guys feeling about these X-Men books that have spun out from this?
So,
you think they've
Fallen Angels is amazing. Marauders is really good. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like do you
New
feel like
Mutants is
they're
good.
still like keeping that energy going, or
Yes.
I know basically like House of X and Powers of X were just this cannonball into the water,
Mm-hmm.
and like the ripple effect is all these books we're getting now. Like I feel like they're keeping up pace pretty well. I just didn't know what you guys' thoughts were.
I like the fact that they're growing Kitty Pryde the way they have been.
God, yeah.
Is like to see her be a badass character and a woman
Mm-hmm.
instead of like a fucking little kid forever.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
Yeah, her and Magic are really like the
Oh, yeah.
shining stars
They're
of the
really-
new Dawn of
Yep.
X.
Also, if you think about it, the worst title in probably all of it is X-Force, and they fucking kill Xavier in X-Force. So it's funny to think like what you would think would be the best title where the most momentous thing happened, they're just doing so well with all these other side stories that it kind of gives credence to all that.
Yeah, man. Whew. Okay, I'm done.
And the next category is Best Creative Team in Comic Books.
I will go with the returning creative team that they ended their run this year with King of Thor. I'm speaking of Jason Aaron and Asad Ribic. They started, what was that, 5 years ago with
Yeah.
their Thor run, and they had never looked back. Jason Aaron's been the primary author of all these Thors. Assad's been doing this and that and the other, but I really loved how they both came back together to end their Thor story. And not only did they come back, but it was so good. Like, the King Thor was a fucking smash in every way possible. So just to have them back together was great.
They're hard to beat.
Yeah.
That was pretty insane what they did.
Yeah.
As like a long-standing achievement, and then to have them wrap it up the way they did,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
anything that Assad does, you're just like, how?
how are you that good consistently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you release things on a regular basis like that?
Yeah.
It's just mind-numbing.
When I remember when War of the Realms was coming out, I was just telling everyone that would listen, I was like, Jason Aaron will be remembered for this Thor run and like heralded as like a master of this comic book format for decades, and I stand by that.
That's going to be his key thing he's known for.
It's just his Thor in general.
Thor
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
Even his indie shit is good.
I mean,
Scalped,
Well,
It
yes,
is.
like
yes,
Southern
yes.
Bastards, like all of that.
And he'll continue to make incredible, amazing things.
If,
Yes,
if Scalped
but-
ever gets made into a show, though, I think that'll be his Walking Dead.
It'll usurp.
That'll be, yeah.
You think it will be? Scalped for sure. You think Scalped or Southern Bastards get made?
I think
gets made
Scalped. I
first?
think Scalped is the one that's closer to being made.
Yeah, wasn't AMC doing Scalped?
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
I thought so.
Oh whoa. Okay. Cool.
But, Jane Foster is becoming
Right.
Yes.
Thor
Yes.
in an upcoming Marvel movie. At least we're led to believe. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's just huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. He can be like 85 signing comics
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
however like 50 years or however long, and people are just going to be like standing in fucking Mondo lines having him sign old Thor
Old
issues.
Thor ones, yeah.
Can you sign my Jane Foster? Beat it, nerd.
Fuck out of here. I went off of first issue script a little bit. I guess you did too, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
No, we covered King Thor.
Yeah.
Oh, did we cover King
Yep.
Thor?
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh, we did the first issue of it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I picked the Immortal Hulk team.
Oh,
So are you picking Alex Ross on the covers, or are you picking?
I included him in the team
yeah,
because it's only 3 people really:
it's a good pick.
Al Ewing, Joe Bennett, and Alex Ross. I'll say Alex Ross's covers. I don't have to say much about. Fucking unbelievable.
and yeah, everyone
Absolute
knows
insane.
who fucking Alex Ross
Yeah.
is.
I mean, and some of the best compositions I feel like he's had in his entire career have been
2 weeks ago,
some of
when
these
it's like
covers.
the people are wearing the Hulk masks, I just was like, this is just insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that cover was great. The big one with like the planet and Hulk's face
Oh,
on it.
so good. 25.
I,
Yeah.
I bought a couple copies of that just because I was like, this has to be important. The cover's so good. Joe Bennett, he does some fucked up stuff in this. One, just like the character design is great.
yes.
And there's so much like vibe and emotion in all the characters. But the way Hulk and Bruce like change into each other is grotesque and monstrous. And the way he like rips and falls apart and all these things just really made this a horror story.
Yeah.
And like elevated it to this like monstrous thing that Al Ewing was trying to do with this character. And obviously the story's amazing, but all 3 of these things combined I think out of all the creative teams had the best year, these 3.
Do you think this was another situation just like Jonathan Hickman and House of X and Powers of X, where they're just like they had got this creative team together and they're like, you know what, go with it.
Yeah.
It's not going to make much sense, but just keep going.
I do think that like they in the last 2 years they've elevated Al Ewing because of the success of this, and said
For
like,
He's getting
sure.
more stuff.
yeah, I mean he got Marvel 1000 essentially.
And
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the new
Yeah.
run
Yeah.
going on with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, shit. What a book.
They got some heavy hitters at Marvel right now.
Mm-hmm.
You could have picked a Kate series. You could have picked all kinds of different stuff.
and
Yeah.
in
That's
fact,
what-
I picked Silver Surfer Black. So you
Me too.
picked, yeah.
With Tradmore
Tradmore.
and Donny Cates.
Amazing.
First of all, Donny Cates, you can't touch that guy because your hand will be burnt because he is on fucking fire right now. But that
You want to know why?
aside,
Your hand will be burned.
you know why? He's very hot. But that aside, to put Tradmore on a big 2 book, big gamble because his artwork isn't for everyone. But holy shit,
But the perfect character.
The perfect
book
character.
to put him
Oh,
on.
it's so awesome. I follow a YouTuber that like often will say every time he references that book, I don't really care for Tradmore's artwork, but this is a key issue. Go fuck yourself. Like Tradmore's artwork is so insanely good that it's astonishing.
that's like saying you don't like Jack Kirby's work.
It's not. I get that it's non-traditional,
It's
but
stylized.
yeah,
He's
but
a trailblazer.
yeah.
Oh,
It's psychedelic, man.
definitely a trailblazer. There are certain things that he does and that make him so well served for this book that like transcends time and space. Think about how many sci-fi books you've read and it's like, here's the alien, it's like a horse body with a book for a face. It's like 2 things that you know.
Oh,
like
hold on a minute. What series is
Yeah.
that?
smashed together.
Yes.
I bet somewhere in Green Lantern, Grant Morrison's Green Lantern, there's probably
boy.
a horse body with a book for a face. But Tradmore designs and creates spreads and panels and pages that look unlike anything you've ever seen before.
Yeah.
Or like accurately depict somehow like the transcendence of time
Yes.
within a flat printed page.
You look at it and you're like, that feels right. That
Yeah.
feels like that's what it should look like. I don't have no reference or frame of like this being true to form, but
Yeah.
it's true to form somehow.
And we have finally come to the end, the whole reason that everyone is here, why everyone is listening right now. They want to know what our picks were for the best first issue of the year. The whole reason we do this goddamn podcast every week. First issues, reread them, we cover them, we aid you through the muddy and murky waters of the comic book landscape. But what was the best one of the year? What was the one that each of us thought was the crown jewel in the helmet of gold that we wear, also known as a crown, of this podcast.
All right, I had a handful of honorable mentions. Once and Future is in my honorable mention. Undiscovered Country, I loved that book.
Same.
Something is Killing the Children was like a boom book that we did on our Patreon. Donny Cates' Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sometimes we lean a little heavy towards books that we've covered later in this like recap.
Just because they're fresher in our minds.
Yeah, and I think we like that did a little bit of a disservice to that book Reaver, which I thought was phenomenal.
Right.
None of those make my number one, but those are my honorable mentions.
Couple honorable mentions for me was Criminal by Ed Brubaker.
Oh, yeah.
Second Coming. I thought that book was first issue was phenomenal. Daredevil with Zdarsky.
So good.
So good. And then another Zdarsky, Spider-Man Life Story. I thought that first issue was really, really good.
Yep.
I mean, I agree with some of those. Those would have made my honorable mention list. But I liked Manor Black a lot. And
That was Cullen, right?
and there was another one.
Was it Knights?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Oh, fuck, that was such a good book.
Yeah.
I had one runner-up. It was Meet the Skrulls.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was such a good character study and an interesting, just like family core concept that was something so not expected out of a Skrull book. I hate Skrulls, and the idea
Such
of them
a weird internal
fucking
conflict
sucks.
for you.
Yeah, and they
As an
did-
escape route.
yeah,
Like as a narrative escape route, it
yeah,
sucks.
it's a free pass out of any fucking Marvel book, and to give me Skrulls that I loved, unbelievable. It
It's
was
a
great.
it's a 5-book run. If you liked Captain Marvel, you're gonna like you're gonna know about
Or if you
this.
liked the
Yeah.
Vision run, it
Yeah.
has some sort
Oh, that's
of
a good
reminiscent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also add I liked Thumbs and Killer Groove too.
I really liked Killer Groove. I thought
I
Killer
know we
Groove was
had some
cool.
conflict with that too.
But
But
the only
both of
conflict
those
I had with
stories-
Killer Groove was it looked like he was wearing a wig.
it was like a He-Man wig.
Yeah,
but
Killer Groove's like art got me a little bit.
yeah.
But other than that, it was good. It was
We
good.
ready for number ones?
Let's do it.
So mine, I don't know how, and I was confused that we didn't cover this book, and I had to like go back and check. My number one first issue of the year was Little Bird, which for some fucking reason
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
actually didn't cover, which
we slept on that.
blows my mind. But that comic book was insanity. I think it was the first. I think why we slept on it is it was this person's first book, and we're like, we don't know who this author is, but they killed it. They were awesome, and that
Best of the year.
yeah, they got best of the year for me.
My best of the year is Once and Future. I really, really connected with this series, and a lot of other people did too. So much so that Boom is now giving it more issues because of
cool.
the popularity.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just really well done. The characters were really dynamic. The story was really fun. So it just really stuck with me.
Mine was Second Coming.
There you go.
Love that book.
Yeah.
Ahoy!
Ahoy. It was probably the most unexpected story that I never would have thought I would ever have gotten from anybody. And to make it in such a palatable way that I think palatable is the right word for it. And kind of just horizon broadening.
What a burn on DC for not carrying it.
Yes, completely.
And the thing I like about Second Coming was that it could have been like a Mad Magazine satire and just really been kind of flat and boring. But the way that they told it and the way that the stories unfold was like completely new and different.
I think it reads the same way Book of Mormon does. Like even if
Yes.
you're a Christian, like you're gonna be like, not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still managing to instill and teach the values that you would want to teach
Yeah.
and instill.
A little crass, but not wrong.
Yeah.
My best first issue was Silver Surfer Black #1.
There you go.
For all the reasons that we just talked about.
Yeah.
It felt like an instant classic to me.
A great pick.
Yep.
It's really good. I got a couple books for you guys that when I saw on there, I'm just gonna say them that I was like, oh, huh, we totally forgot about that. Do you guys remember Fair Lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Nope.
like, it was a cool book. Yeah.
I
know.
looked it up because there were a
Did you?
couple that I was like, did I even read this?
Yep.
I went to Midtown and bought a couple more of it, and I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yep.
You
So like
remember-
the cat bodyguard.
Yeah.
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 I think we liked it because it was serialized. Like every issue was
Felt
a
like a
self-contained,
standalone.
A one-off.
like
yeah.
like CSI
Buddy cop
episode. Yeah.
It was good. And then, do you guys remember this little mini series of the Thanos run where it's like the Gamora
Yes.
Thanos like origin?
Yeah, Tina
I
Howard.
was
Yeah.
trying to find a way to put that in one of my lists because I really, really enjoyed that arc.
We also slept on Gwenpool, which was a great series that came out that we just didn't cover, which ended up being really good.
It got a lot of acclaim, and I don't think I own a single issue of it.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
The problem is Marvel put out a ton this year.
Yeah, we cover a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, more than most fucking comic book podcasts or any comic book media organization. We're gonna miss some.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Which is kind of why we started the Patreon to like get that kind of
Yeah,
things that have gone by the wayside.
it's a great year for comics.
As every year is.
Yeah, last year we did some like very more formulaic things where we said like best writer, best publisher. I like
Best
what'd you guys,
cover art.
Yeah, what'd you guys think of the format this year versus last year?
This was way funner.
Yeah.
This is more conversational.
More informative, too.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah.
So funny that with more room to have different kinds of picks based on different interpretations, we still ended up picking some of the same ones.
Yeah.
I think it goes to show that sometimes there was the true best
Yeah.
of something.
Right.
Yeah.
We got time for these.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know how quick these lists and best choices were going to go. So I did a comic, Would You Rather? Just a fun note to go out on for the year. First one.
I
Now,
used to
are
be-
these pointed at certain people or just like we just answer?
I think this is a group thing.
Okay.
Tell me what your decision is, and then I'll decide which one of you wins the point for each one.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
First one. Who would you rather save you? Batman in his pedestrian clothes or a life-size Funko Pop of Prince?
Batman in his pedestrian clothes.
Okay.
Because if I'm going to be saved by a superhero, I'm going to feel those muscles up against my bod.
Okay.
And while Prince is sexy, Funko Pops aren't sexy. They're very smooth.
That's true. They're cute.
Greg answered this question like he had been asked it before.
Yeah, like he came with notes.
Here's what I'm doing. I want to win, and I have to answer in my truest way possible. So I'm just letting it all out.
I don't even think I can.
I don't have a fully
Challenge
fledged answer.
it.
Yeah, the only thing that it'd be nice to see Prince since he's dead. Like,
But it's not really him.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
the
Funko
it's a
Funko
Funko
Pop.
It's
Pop
his
version.
Funko
yeah.
Pop.
Do Funko Pop versions
Also-
of people just say like the generic slogans that they say?
They
Like-
don't say anything.
Because they just say "Purple Rain," and that's all. Like,
Everybody knows that was Prince's slogan. So
Hey, everybody, Purple Rain. Oh my God, he said it. He said Purple Rain.
The Funko Pop. I guess you can ask me questions about the scenario.
well, I was kind of wondering how would you be saved. For some reason, I just had it in my mind that you would be falling and they would catch you. And I
me
thought,
too.
I
oh,
thought
I was thinking I was getting mugged.
Batman because it would be hard to fall into like plastic, like that kind of a surface.
It's one of those situations where you're in the middle of the street and this person shoves you out of the way, but in doing so, gets hit by a car and
Oh
dies.
shit!
Again in Prince's.
then
in
I would-
Prince's case.
I would pick the Funko Pop.
Oh, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was
Too bad Batman's dead and you didn't get
You
to
are-
feel his muscles.
I
You
killed
already-
Batman.
And nobody knows because he was in his pedestrian
That's
clothes.
true.
Yeah.
Martha.
He was Bruce Wayne.
Okay, so we have a pick for
I have a pick for Prince in
Prince.
that case.
Batman
Batman.
or in his pedestrian clothes
Yeah.
and
Yeah, Prince, but it was a close tie.
Batman in his pedestrian clothes was the right answer. Congratulations, Greg.
Game over.
You're in the lead.
He has 1 point. Yeah.
Which would you rather be? Wonder Woman's lasso wrapped around a stranger's big gulp, or Captain America, but you lost your job because of a risque TikTok you recorded?
I have a question.
Yep.
Am I the lasso permanently? And I'm just currently wrapped around a big gulp? Or is that my only time as the lasso is just wrapped around this quick moment of being wrapped around a big gulp?
It's the quick moment.
Is this fired from his job, meaning the Avengers?
Or is he like moonlighting as a security guard?
And
somewhere?
he's like fired
just-
from that job.
He's just Steve Rogers now.
Okay.
But he still wears the outfit.
I think I would probably still be Steve Rogers in that case because I feel like popularity and your personal stock might go up having done a little bit of a naughty thing. You know?
It worked for Kim Kardashian.
There we go.
Yeah.
I also am going to choose Captain America because he's kind of immortal with the super serum, and I'm very afraid of death.
People might forget too. That stuff has like a short attention span.
Yeah.
You might get rehired.
Yeah. I mean, Lindsay Lohan's back in movies, so it's fine.
Is she?
I think
She was
she's
back
in
on Billy on the Street. I don't know that
I
you
think she's in a couple
know
like
that.
low-budget horror movies.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a pick for the lasso?
I'll
we
go with
going
If I'm going to
uncontested?
get ahead of Greg, I'm going to have to go opposite.
There we
I'm going to
go.
have to zig where he zags.
Got to take a risk.
Yeah, and I think sentient things that aren't sentient is a good option for me.
Okay.
On brand for you.
Yes.
The only reason I didn't choose the lasso is because I'm very kinky, but I want to tie people up.
Ah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to be just wrapped around a drink.
But you could be holstered to her for another part of time,
That's true.
which might be nice.
She's also touching you.
Mm-hmm.
You're touching her and a dirty big gulp at the same time.
Yeah, the dirty thing.
Oh,
is gonna
no,
really
that
get you.
wins.
Captain
doesn't
America, you got to be forever. Jobless Captain America, you have to be forever. Wonder Woman's lasso, you are for an instant, as long as it's touching the big gulp.
And then you disappear?
You're
Or
back
what do
to
you
being
become? Oh,
Caitlyn or
yourself.
Greg or
oh,
Budgie.
well, that's
Okay.
no good.
Ooh.
So, Captain America was the right choice here, but
I shouldn't have zigged.
only for the reasons Greg indicated is because
Damn
you're
it.
semi-immortal, so Greg gets the point for that one.
Again, this game is
Fine.
rigged.
Just answer with your true self.
Which would you rather eat? Wolverine's cigar or Black Panther's e-juice?
I'm going to go with Wolverine's cigar because it's been in his mouth and I can suck on Daddy's cigar. And also, if you're going to go for like something that's bad for you, go for the full thing, which is a cigar, which is a kind of a classier item. E-juice is you put it in a fucking vape and you look stupid with your little robot penis in your mouth puffing out little cumulus clouds of blueberry sunshine.
Okay.
You got to eat his e-juice. You don't get to smoke it.
Yeah, you're eating.
His e-juice.
Drinking it, yeah.
And do you get his lotus power?
No.
No, you don't inherit any powers.
You just have to do one of the two things.
Has it been chemically altered in any way by Shuri?
It was the e-juice, this particular e-juice made in Wakanda.
I'm taking the e-juice.
E-juice, then. If it's Wakandanese e-juice.
Yeah.
Probably pretty dank.
Yeah, fuck yeah. No matter what, I can drink the e-juice. The experience of eating a cigar is going to haunt me for the rest of my life, even if it's been in.
Does Wolverine watch me eat a cigar?
That's a good point.
Am I digging this e-juice out of a dumpster and someone catches me and pities me instantly?
Yeah. Do we become famous through eating these things?
So okay, let me answer for both cases. Wolverine's cigar, he has his back to you, but he can hear you eating the cigar.
That's even hotter.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
In the e-juice situation, you see Black Panther discard a half-full e-cig. He just throws it on the ground, and you
He would never.
and you quickly scurry to it and crack it in half and just suck the e-juice out
And
of
he
it.
has no
Just
idea.
take it to
He
the
has no
dome.
idea that I sucked his e-juice.
Yeah, and in this case, you are someone is recording you do this, and you go viral
Oh,
as like a
damn
desperate
it.
weirdo.
Oh, damn
There's
it.
that TikTok.
Look how thirsty these people
Yeah,
are.
now I
for
pick Wolverine.
I stick with e-juice.
e-juice was right.
Oh.
Damn it.
So
Why'd I switch at the last moment?
that's 2 for Greg, 1 for Budget King.
Yes.
Okay.
I think,
And one.
and I don't get one because I didn't pick the half immortal.
Oh, you're
even though I
zero.
picked the right one.
Yeah. Sorry,
All right.
Caitlin.
Them's the breaks.
You could. It's gonna be tough, but you could come back in these next two.
Yep, we've got 2 left,
Oh,
so
damn it.
at best you can tie.
You know what? I feel not confident at all. So let's keep going.
Which outfit would you rather wear? A bikini with Vision's eyes as the boobs, or a diaper that looks exactly like MODOK?
MODOK diaper. Hell yes.
Do you have like a baby fetish? Like, why are you wearing a diaper? Or are you old? Or are you just wearing the diaper just for fashion?
You're grown up. You're your current age, and you're wearing the diaper for fashion.
Out and about, or is it underneath my pants?
It's during the summer, so you're comfortable in the temperature, but you're in a metropolitan area. It's like you're walking around like an arts district.
Is this a screen print or an airbrush version of Vision's eyes, or are they actually Vision's eyes?
It is like printed Vision's eyes.
Okay.
If my boobs were more illustrious, I would go with the Vision eyes.
Is this item that you're wearing the only item that you are currently wearing?
Yes.
So you're Donald Duck in it if you've got the bikini on.
So my dick's out if I got the bikini on. So that's a hard mode out for me. Then.
And I've literally got my boobs just out if I'm wearing the diaper. It's a no-win for me, dogs.
That's a good one.
Multiple dogs. We're all the dogs in this scenario. I'll say that in the bikini one, you've got a infinity stone over your belly.
Like a troll doll.
Yeah.
I'm going troll doll.
Wait,
I think that's an aesthetic I can work with.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
That doesn't help her bottoms.
It doesn't, but
Might distract.
we'll Pooh Bear it.
I guess it depends. You have the power of the infinity stone.
Oh,
What?
No one asked.
I'm sticking with the bikini.
So Caitlin's winning this one because she's the only one who took the bikini.
She got the power of the fucking
Who was brave enough to choose the bikini?
Well, shit.
To go full Pooh Bear.
All right, so Budget King and Caitlin are tied. Greg's in the lead. This one is gonna either
Tie you with Greg or
Tie it all up.
make Greg the
this one's actually for
the victor.
3,000 points.
Oh,
This
boy.
last one.
And the other ones
It's like
were
the
one?
Big Fat Quiz
Yeah.
Show.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Where would you rather go? The Fortress of Solitude with just you and 40 mimes? Or the moon with just you and Uatu the Watcher?
Easy. Moon.
Moon. Big time. Awatu's got all these great stories. Oh, wait, is he dead?
Oh yeah.
What timeline is this?
There's just a dead Uatu.
Okay, how
On the moon.
how
No, he's alive. He's
how
alive.
big or small are the mimes? Life-size mimes.
The
Oh, yeah.
mimes are 1 foot tall.
Okay.
But they're normally proportioned people, just a foot tall.
Okay.
Why
okay.
does clarifying always benefit Caitlin?
Because she has an inquisitive mind.
It's true. Let me ask a weird question. Do I get $1 million when I go to the moon with Uatu?
No, we don't need money.
Are they off the clock? Are they method?
Which
Are they-
which watcher is it? It is Uatu.
It's Uatu the Watcher.
And then is there any other watchers?
No, it's just you and Uatu.
Is he happy that I'm there?
I need to answer Caitlin's question
Sorry.
first.
Sorry.
The
You said
mimes
1 foot.
are doing mime shit.
Okay.
They're like currently like feeling invisible walls and pulling ropes just like all around you.
Do they need to eat?
It's like bonking into your knees.
Endless supply of entertainment. I am staying in that fortress.
Yeah.
Tiny mimes.
Hold me closer, tiny minds.
Also, I'm like only 3 feet taller than them, so it's like a dream come true
And
for
it's a
me.
fucking playhouse in the Fortress of Solitude.
Trapped inside those
So, like,
tiny boxes.
You get to go.
Could I make them like my lemmings and create elaborate structures for them to go on?
Oh, that's cool.
I'll say they're not allowed to touch you, but you can touch them.
That's the same rules at a strip club.
Oh, you have sold me.
I am staying in that fortress.
I'm going to Fortress.
I'm gonna dream about that fortress.
I'm gonna
tonight.
defect the Fortress.
Does Uatu want me on the moon?
He loves your company.
And I'm staying with my main man Uatu on the moon.
Oh, God.
Because of
Did
the
he
views.
Win?
Because of the
Did he
views.
win? Did he win?
Uatu's got all the stories. Imagine how many incredible things that guy's seen. Oh, wait. I don't get to become a watcher, do I?
Nope.
Okay.
You just get to hang with them, yeah.
Here,
Still.
why don't I rule something out for you immediately? So, Greg lost.
Oh,
When you're on the moon with Uatu,
no. Uh-huh.
sound doesn't travel in space. You can't talk to him.
Oh, idiot.
So you're
Can't
just
hear
standing
any of his stories.
in silence with this big Funko Pop of Watu.
Also, what
Oh, he was a Funko
was a
Pop
Funko Pop this whole time.
he was a Funko Pop. You should have
no.
clarified.
Still cool for me.
We need a tiebreaker.
No, you.
Caitlin,
Well, 'cause we're tied.
Caitlin and I tied.
No, I lost one. Oh wait, we were tied at one point.
We came in with one.
You
Okay.
both have 3,001 points right now.
Yes, we need a tiebreaker.
Oh, boy.
You didn't prep this, but
I didn't prep this. God,
You
I
can
spent
shoot-
so much time coming up with
yeah,
these.
were
I
brilliant.
could tell they were
Specific
They
great.
were
what
so
ifs.
so good.
Yeah, you can shoot from the hip though.
Okay, when would you rather exist?
Oh, this is good. It's not an A/B, so now you
It's
can.
just
value
an
it.
open-ended, or are
No,
there
I'm going to
AB?
give you options.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
yeah.
never mind. Sorry.
In an ever-present Speed Force, or World War One.
Oh, easy fucking Speed Force. I don't even know what the fuck a Speed Force is, but I'm not choosing World War One.
Yeah, I'm also choosing Speed Force because
Okay, so it's going to come down to your reasons why.
Yeah.
then.
This
Because
is like the best game of D&D.
period pieces suck. World War whatever was either one was terrible.
I need you to pick the one best reason.
I like fast.
you like fast, so you would not choose the Speed Force.
No, I choose Speed
He
Force.
choose
Oh,
Speed
okay,
Force.
that's right.
I
That's right.
like fast.
He choose Speed Force because he likes fast.
God, I don't think I can beat that.
I'll save you some time. That was the right answer. Budget King wins 2019 with 3,002 points. First Issue Club has its first champion. Enjoy it for a whole year until our 2020 end of the year episode.
It makes sense because you are a king.
I don't win many things, but boy, am I happy.
Real comeback story.
Yeah.
It is a true comeback story.
Yeah.
From
A true Cinderella state.
from dust to royalty. We'll see you next year.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye. This has been another episode of First Issue Club. We are a proud member of the Fountain City Frequency family of podcasts. Our music is provided by Primary Color Music. We are recorded in KCUR Studios. You can find us, rate us, friend, and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, email, and your favorite listening platforms at First Issue Club, FIRST.